and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. And today, guys, we are taking another cheeky look at Cardano and the ADA token. Specifically, we're talking around a price forecast that basically someone is, edging a little bit on the bullish side here, a 900% rally heading towards that $2. In fact, they're actually saying $2.12. So we're going to have a look at our charts, take a look at this forecast, see if we can marry the two things together and whether or not a $2 ADA token is on the horizon. And then after we've done that, Chris, we're going to have a cheeky look at, Charles Hoskinson's social media initiative. And, he's been talking a lot about, freedom of speech recently on his channel. And I think this is something he really wants to accomplish. We're going to get into some of that as well. So as always, if you find this video useful, informative, do go ahead and smash that like button. We all know how much Chris appreciates it. And if you're new to the channel, not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all that said, Chris, shall we jump in, take a look at the forecast, take a look at the charts, and get into a bit of social media decentralization?
Yeah, before we do, don't forget, in the comments below, let us know what you think the price is going to be, 2021. Be interested to find out, won't we, Nick?
Absolutely. Right. Let us know, and Chris tries his best to respond to each and every one of your comments. So yeah, make it hard for him. Go ahead, smash that like button, add a comment, and wait for him to reply.
It might wait a long time.
Right, let's take a look at the Cardano price forecast. So ADA targets 900% bull rally, but it must obviously clear that 33 cents first. So let's take a look at what they're talking about here and see what we can see within our own charts. So Cardano price seems to be on the verge of a massive breakout, and I totally agree with that. It's cracking a long-term trendline resistance. Fantastic. And after a brief consolidation period, it seems that Cardano is ready to resume its uptrend. So Cardano has a significant rally towards 35.5 at the beginning of 2021 after a notable dip to 22.8. Bulls bought it back to manage and push Cardano price up to 33 cents again before a small rejection. And we'll also get into that when we have a look at our charts as well. So Cardano price needs to clear that 33 cent level to see this massive breakout, and that's, when I read it out loud, sounds really obvious. Obviously, it has to clear 33. So, on a weekly chart, Cardano broke out from the reverse head and shoulders pattern, which seems to have retested the neckline resistance trend line. Okay, so that's really interesting to see as well. And this breakout has a price target of $2.12, which represents a 900% increase. And I have to say, I would like to see that. That would make my day, I think, having an ADA at $2.12. So on the 12-hourly chart, Cardano price has established a critical resistance at the 33 cents in the short term. A breakout above this point can quickly start to push the digital asset towards that $2.12 long-term price target. Okay, so one thing they're not doing here is giving a time frame for this, and that's expected with these things. They don't like to predict time, but they can predict price. So we'll see. We can obviously go into some things on our charts as well. So Cardano bulls can find a spot of support at 28, and this is something I talk about a lot during our charts. That we talk about 28.5 is something that has always been a support for us, which is the 26 EMA. Actually, in and out of the money around price, or the IO map chart, shows a robust support area around the 31.8 and 30 cents. Okay, and I obviously call them 30.5. And 31.5, I believe, on my chart, but we'll get into that as well. And obviously we have support in those 28s, 29s areas as well. So really interesting to see what they're talking about here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our chart, right? So this is our ADA chart. We obviously have quite a bit in common with our kind of trend lines, the breakout that we saw, where we currently sit, right? So we obviously have our 28.5, this level here, right? This is our 28.5 cent support line. We obviously have at the moment a 30.5 resistance line, okay, because we're currently below that level. We also have a 31.5 resistance level as well, okay, and yeah, ultimately we have a 33 cent level, which we just can't seem to break out from, and it's 33.9 on my chart, and it's going to be in that zone. If I actually pull this down into a into the where these actually candles close, you'll be more likely to be in that 33.4 around there. But I'm going to leave it at 33.9. That's a nice zone. That's just how I like to do things on my chart. So 34.6 is therefore after, and obviously we have our first price target. So things that we talk about a lot here, Chris, on our ADA charts are the immediate price targets that we see in our Fibonacci extensions, right? So that was 25 cents that we went straight through, which was fantastic. We got close to our second price target of 35.2, which we then fell short of on that 33-cent resistance, right? So we know that. And obviously we have the next one after 35, which is 44.9 and then 50.9. Okay, so those are the immediate price targets that we can definitely see in the short term. Now they're talking about a long-term objective here of $2.12. And that would be, quite a significant jump from our current position. Let's say 900%. But if we go ahead and grab our price range from our current position and we start to pull this up 900% or so, we're going to start seeing what we have marked out, right? So I have on here marked out the $1.52 from a previous piece of analysis. So that's another price point we want to be targeting. And I think that actually goes way back to some history of what we were looking at before. So it's an interesting level. Now, if I continue this up to get towards that 900%, I think we get to a different price point on our current position. That actually shows us at $3. Okay, but they're actually talking about only putting it up to $2.12. So that would put it about there, which would only actually signal a 605% growth and not that 900% that they're talking about on the analysis that we saw earlier. At least that's from the current position that we're in. Now, I think that's absolutely reasonable. I think we're going to easily surpass $1, not a problem. And that's going to be that zone that I've marked out with our little pencil marker, right? So we can see that that's the zone that we should pass $1, no problem. And I think you align to that thinking as well, Chris.
I do, yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. So getting to that $1.50, I think, is going to be a key area. And that's an area based on some bar patterns from the history, right? So taking a look at some of the structures that were in ADA before, in some of the early years, we apply those to where we are now, and it gets us to a $1.52. So I've marked that as well as an interesting area. And then also we have this now new prediction from FX Street here. And basically they're saying, we're going to target $2.12. Now, that's a 605% growth. And, that'd be fantastic. I still think there's more potential in ADA, though, personally. And I can't back this up with any data, but my gut is telling me we're going to see some significant growth with everything that's going on with Cardano, right? So everything from Gogun to ERC20 token converters, all the way through to multi-asset hard forks, right? So much is happening with Cardano. I find it hard to think that the upper limit here is going to be $2. I think this thing is going to go so much further. I can think this, reasonably. I have a $5 mindset. Now, it doesn't mean that that's the limit either. It could still go beyond $5. I just have this feeling that $5 we're going to see it this year for Cardano with such an unprecedented market that we have going into 2021 with so many real world issues and people ditching fiat currency, moving into the digital space. Cardano is poised to mop up so much of that, and then obviously layer in a few additional things, outside factors that Cardano can solve, and those ultimately are things that are problems that are happening with Ethereum. So as Ethereum does incredibly well, which I'm expecting it to do, and you're expecting it to do so well as well.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we have this understanding that Ethereum's going to become unreasonably priced in terms of fees as Ethereum price increases over time. So as Ethereum is expecting to reach maybe $8,000 or $10,000 this bull cycle, who is going to be paying those fees to actually have their decentralized applications running on Ethereum? Not many people are going to be wanting to pay that. And that's where Cardano comes in and can basically just take those projects away from Ethereum and run them directly onto the Cardano blockchain, or use the KEVM to basically run them using with minimal disruption to the network, but just have lower transaction fees. And ultimately, it's going to be an absolute game changer, right? So some big macro events happening could be the catalyst to really push Cardano to some really fantastic levels. Now, Chris, I've obviously said $5, but what's your thoughts on like long-term price target for 2021?
Yeah, I kind of align between the $3 and $5 sort of area, and I think that's subject to Cardano achieving everything that's set out in their roadmap, obviously. So I do caveat those prices with that. I think they have to do that. I think the catalyst for me is going to be when Ethereum, I guess, is a victim of its own success. You know, it's going to take a couple of years, I believe, to resolve some of the issues, and you have got all those problems. When they resolve one issue, it could generate another, which is what I really like about what Cardano have gone and done. And Charles and the team, really, because they built it from the ground up. So that when they fix an issue, that it's not going to cause another problem. I mean, or they do some sort of integration. So I think they're in a much better position. It seems like it's taken an awful long time to get there, but I think over that period of time, it's going to pay. It's going to pay, for the level.
Dividends, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So right, let's get into the other fantastic thing that's cropped up today for Cardano, right? And that's all about this, right? So Charles Hoskinson tells Jack Dorsey that Cardano is working on a decentralized social media initiative. And so for those people who have been following Charles, his tweeting or his YouTube channel, he's been talking a lot about freedom of speech, platforms being or people being taken off platforms, and basically even a whole social media network completely wiped off the face of the earth, almost, right? And that's kind of what he's getting at here. If it was decentralized, you wouldn't have those issues, right? So Charles Hoskinson, he is the CEO of 𝗖𝗢𝗪𝗧𝗧, and that's in and out Hong Kong, right? So they are basically the foundation that drives Cardano blockchain forward. Called on Jack Dorsey here not to create a decentralized social media standard within Twitter. It wouldn't be the right thing to do. He said that Dorsey's Blue Sky project should be made open source so that the entire crypto industry can contribute to it. In the exchange, Hoskinson revealed that 𝗖𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧 was working on a mysterious project that could solve Twitter's decentralization problem. So basically, Dorsey's Twitter prompts conversation about social media decentralization after Twitter removed the standing US President Donald Trump from its platform. The move sparked a worldwide conversation about censorship and centralization. Many have seen the cross-platform removal of conservative and Republican voices as a coordinated attack that could only be solved through decentralization. And this is a problem, not just necessarily from the political aspect, but it happens all over the place, right? So it's too much power is potentially in the hands of centralized individuals. And ultimately, decentralization, as we know in the crypto space, solves a lot of these issues, right? And surprisingly enough, Jack Dorsey, the founder and CEO of Twitter, was among a few tech leaders to agree with this. And in a Twitter thread explaining the company's reasoning behind Trump's removal, he said that his passion for Bitcoin stems from his appreciation of its foundations, a lack of control and influence by any single individual or entity. This, he explained, was why he started Blue Sky in 2019. The initiative focused on creating a decentralized standard for social media. Twitter's goal, he explained, was to ultimately become a client of the standard and facilitate public conversation on the internet. So Hoskinson believes that the crypto industry should participate in Dorsey's push for decentralization. Charles Hoskinson, the CEO of 𝗖𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗧, or Cardano is pretty easiest way to say it, chimed in the discussion and addressed the issue behind Dorsey's approach to decentralization model. Hoskinson said that the decentralization standard for social media shouldn't be developed within the same company that runs Twitter. A vocal proponent of decentralization systems governed by the community, Hoskinson called on Dorsey to make Blue Sky and other decentralization efforts coming from Twitter open source. This way, he tweeted, the entire crypto industry will be able to contribute. His belief, his brief comments on the tweet also revealed that 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦, the company behind Cardano blockchain, was working on something similar to what Dorsey was basically trying to achieve with Blue Sky. So while Hoskinson only said that the company was working on something, the broader crypto community immediately assumed that 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦 was developing a decentralized social media platform based on Cardano blockchain. And that probably isn't the case, but if it is, that would be fantastic. That's definitely something I could get behind. But here we are, right? So you have Jack saying we are trying to do our part by funding an initiative around an open, decentralized standard for social media. Our goal is to be a client of the standard for public conversation layer of the internet. We call it Blue Sky, right? And then obviously Jack's tweeted himself in essence, and then obviously we have Charles here going back to that and just saying we're working on something, Jack. You shouldn't build it in-house, make it open source project, and our entire industry can contribute. And that's a fantastic approach. So neither Dorsey nor any associated with Twitter has addressed this yet. At least 24 comments on Hoskinson's original tweet have been removed from Twitter, despite the post generating hundreds of likes, and there in itself is a problem, right? When you have stuff like that happening. So it's fantastic to see that things might eventually, get corrected. Decentralization is unfortunately the only way, and I mean it in both sense of the words, right? We shouldn't have to do this. We shouldn't have to do decentralization, but unfortunately, due to many reasons, we are kind of forced into a world where we have to have decentralization. Otherwise, too few can have the power over the many. So hopefully things will progress in the positive direction going forward, Chris.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Anything you want to add to any of that?
I love Cardano. I love it.
We do love Cardano, we have to say.
It has become like my favorite crypto to talk about. It really has. Yeah, I do love it.
It is a fantastic project, and I think it's going to be absolutely amazing in the future. It's going to solve a lot of real world problems, and I for one cannot wait to see what that looks like. So as always, guys, if you have enjoyed today's video, do go ahead and smash that like button, because we all know how much Chris appreciates it, and I like to think I appreciate it too. And also, guys, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Take care.